Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh god! Ah!
You guys!
Egotastic FunTime.
Hey gang, I'm JP and welcome back to Talking The Orville on Egotastic FunTime. Today we're going to have a great time talking about the news that just broke a little bit ago from the Orville panel at the San Diego Comic-Con 2019. What's up? That the Orville, their third season, the next season that we're waiting for, is actually leaving Fox Primetime and moving to Hulu. What? And I know many of you are like, oh my god, JP, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do, JP? How are you gonna live? First off, don't worry about it. Who says I'm living at all? And right now I can tell you that the Orville moving to Hulu is totally kind of awesome. I think that's gonna be pretty great, you guys. First off, let me tell you why. Well, we have talked about this before. I kind of mentioned that this might be happening months ago. I said it's possible that perhaps the Orville might move from Fox because TV's just not the same anymore, okay? But also they've been talking, we've talked about this in the live streams, that they've been using weird terminology for the last few months, like, oh, the Orville is kind of a streaming format that happens, it's a streaming show that happens to air on television. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, and and they're saying that because it's usually fully prepared and the whole season is written, and they film everything and they get everything ready. It takes them a whole year, and then they start releasing episodes, as opposed to traditional television shows that kind of film, put out a few episodes, and they're making more episodes along the way. So yes, the Orville is going to be moving to Hulu. But think about it, the Orville, because it's on primetime, it gets about 3 to 4 million views per episode, and then another 3 to 4 million views when it over the next 7 days on Hulu and other streaming services that it's available on. I personally have never watched it on primetime television. I've never done it, and I'm the Orville Evangelist. I watch the Orville on Amazon, because I purchased this, I pre-order every season on Amazon. I watch it there, and then I also watch it on Hulu. I watch it on Hulu all the time because I can just watch it right there on my television. It's great. So that's been my experience the entire time. And during our live streams, during the Thursday night Splosions, Talking the Orville Splosions, many of you just stick around the entire time. You don't leave and go off and watch the show. Because you're also going to be watching it on Hulu, either very late that evening or the next day or a couple days later, which is fine because it takes a couple days for me to get a review out, because I work really hard on those Orville reviews because I love it so much. And now that it'll be no longer on prime time, a lot of those viewers that watched it when it first premiered and didn't watch it on Hulu because they've already seen it, they'll be moving over and watching it on Hulu because Hulu has millions of kabillions of subscribers. I watch all my primetime television on Hulu next day. And I've done that for, well, not necessarily for 10 years. I cut the cord 10 years ago with television, and I haven't looked back since, but I've watched all the television I want because all the shows that I want are usually available on some service, or usually the stuff that I watch is always available on Hulu. Hulu is my source for current television. And Hulu is basically owned by Fox, and Fox is owned by Disney, basically. And Disney, I hear rumors that Disney is going to be purchasing, might be purchasing the enough shares of Hulu so that they are the main owners of Hulu. But that's a conversation for another day. It doesn't matter at this point. And here's what I'm excited about it. Because they're moving to Hulu, there's actually a lot of Hulu originals, which that I absolutely love. Future Man, such an incredible show. You can never show that on primetime television, you guys, and it's an amazing show. One of my favorite television shows, The Last Man on Earth, which was canceled by Fox, was immediately picked up for another season on Hulu. I cannot wait for that season to to land, basically. And even though Last Man on Earth always aired on Fox, I've never watched it on Fox. I've always watched it on Hulu. All my NBC shows I watch on Hulu. ABC shows I watch on Hulu. CBS shows I don't watch on Hulu because they're not there, but I probably wouldn't watch them anyway. So let's look at some benefits to the Orville moving to Hulu, you guys. First off, there's no limits. No limits. They don't have to worry about being constrained to 46 to 52 minutes. Now they can have episodes that run longer. They don't have to cut scenes out for time. All the scenes they film and write are now going to be in the episode. So now we are going to have episodes that are 58 minutes long, 60 minutes long, 60 minutes plus another 5 to 7 minutes long. I'm sure they're not going to have big, long-ass hour-and-a-half episodes, but you never know. So there's no restraints. They don't have to think about commercial breaks. Remember in season 2, Fox started doing this now with limited commercial breaks, but all it meant was shorter commercial breaks, a lot longer, so you couldn't actually jive with the story. You couldn't actually, follow along. You kept getting broken up with commercials. So, it kind of resets your brain centers when you were really getting into the story. Then you have to go back. It's like tantric sex. Sting, you know what I'm talking about, buddy. There's no rules. If Gordon wants to say the Effie or the Essie words, he can do that. Jaloja does that. Well, we'll keep Jaloja. That's one of the best damn words ever created. But you can have, a little bit stronger language, a little bit stronger, harsher situations, because I do know that the show wants to up the drama and the sci-fi even more than they did in season 2. They no longer have to abide by the rules that other shows have to abide by when premiering on television. And basically, what we've known our entire lives as television has, let's admit it, television is not television anymore. Most shows, like go look at the Emmy nominations. How many of those shows are on primetime television? They're not. Most of them are Netflix, Hulu, Showtime, HBO, Cinemax. Seth MacFarlane's latest adventure with Russell Crowe, The Loudest Voice, is a Showtime show, okay? It's not on primetime television. Modern audiences don't watch primetime television anymore. It used to be back in the 70s and 80s, a single TV show would get 40 million views, and that'd be like, oh, that's pretty good. Nowadays, a hit show might get 7 or 8 million views, and that's if they're lucky. Most shows get a couple million, and that's about it. Nowadays, people are watching YouTube. They have Hulu, Netflix, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime. Disney Plus is coming out in November. NBC streaming service is going to be coming out eventually, which I'm totally going to get as well, because all my favorite comedies are NBC comedies, so I'll be getting that service as well. HBO Max is going to be coming out, which is HBO, but mixed with TBS and Cartoon Network and some other things are going to be thrown in there as well. Amazon Prime shows used to suck back in the day. Not anymore. There's a lot of shows that I cannot wait to watch, and they're all going to be originals to Amazon Prime. Hashtag The Expanse Season 4. Ever heard of it? And this news also kind of is great because it kind of coincides with something. We've talked about this in the last week or so because we started doing Netflix watch parties. And we were talking about, especially on Twitch as well, we've had some conversations, kind of figuring out what we're going to do for the YouTube channel. We're going to start having Orville watch parties. And I was going to use Hulu to do that because the Orville is on Hulu. And I was going to start, once a week, we're going to watch an episode of the Orville. We're going to have Orville watch parties. We have, 26 episodes? So that's 26 weeks of episodes to watch. Well, we might watch Identity Part 1 and 2 the same day. Because that's the Identity saga. It deserves to be watched back to back. And maybe tomorrow, and The Road Not Taken, because that's another great two-parter. Two-parters in 2 seasons. Well, all in 1 season, but you know what I mean. So I was going to start having a weekly Orville watch party where all of us who have access to either Hulu or the DVD of the Orville, at least season 1, or you've purchased it on Amazon Prime like I have, I'm just gonna, we're gonna do a live show once a week where we're watching an episode of the Orville, just like we do with Netflix, and I'll just tell everybody queues up the episode that we're gonna watch, and we all press play at the same time, and we just talk about the episode while we're watching it, and then we talk about it after we're done watching, and we talk about it before we're done, before we even start watching it. It's going to be an egotastic fun time, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to start that next week, just a couple days. Orville watch parties. And who better to do it with than the Orville Evangelist? So we'll get into worldwide distribution and premiere dates and all that stuff some other time. But I know some of you are probably saying, well, what about Discovery? You make fun of Discovery all the time for being a streaming show. That's not true. I make fun of Discovery for being an internet show, basically. It's a web series. Because... the Orville's going to be on Hulu. That's a streaming service. Discovery is on CBS All Access, which is technically a streaming service. But it's not the same, you guys, and I'll tell you why. Because yes, technically Star Trek Discovery and the Orville will both be available on a streaming service. But the difference is the Orville is going to be on a streaming service that people actually subscribe to. Boom. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today, and I talked about it. How about you? What do you think about the Orville going to Hulu? I know that most of us already watch, not most of us, but a lot of us watch it on Hulu already or on Amazon Prime. I don't know how this is going to affect the Talking the Orville live show explosion. We're going to keep having them, of course, but we're going to have to eventually alter when and how they air. I'm guessing we'll figure that out later. We got a long time to figure that out, but we're going to be here every Thursday for a long time now. Thursday is still going to be Orville Day, and then we'll figure out the rest later when we have to figure it out. But I want to know what you think. Do you think this is going to be positive for the series, for the franchise? Do you think this is going to be a downer and it's going to hurt it? Does it matter in this day and age? Is TV is not the same. I don't even need you to answer that question. I'm telling you right now, TV is dead. Just like the music industry is dead. We do things differently now. Most young whippersnappers nowadays don't even own a television. They watch everything on their phones. It's a totally different world now, and the Orville is preparing for that. They're in the 25th century. They're looking ahead to the way things are going to be, the way things are basically at this point. But you can let me know everything that you think by joining the conversation below. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, and supporting my stupid show. It really does mean the world to me.
If you liked JP's video and want to help Egotastic FunTime grow, click on the Patreon link and give him all your money today, you stupid bastards.
I'll see you very soon, and as always, I hope all your times are Egotastic FunTimes. Love you, bye-bye.
Egotastic FunTime, we're gonna have a great time. Egotastic FunTime, give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give me all your money. Give me all your money. Give me all your money.